New Zealand's recreational cycling community RideStrong have developed a national event series specifically for recreational riders, the RaboDirect RideStrong Ranking Series. Taking in 11 events, the series is designed to develop riders' abilities and celebrate rider achievements.
I've found cycling really good to help me lose weight. I'm now about 92 kg. I have been 108 when I first did Taupo. So it's a sport where the weight doesn't go in your joints in the same way, and therefore you can train without hurting yourself. You meet really interesting people. Different bunches I go out with, some all walks of life, and that's really good. You've got talented people who are generally willing to give you a bit of a hand and sort of let you know and tow you along for a little while, and that's good. But the other thing is that sort of like the afterwards and around it. There's cycling people are nice people generally. I mean, some of them as they ride, the absolute shockers, but afterwards are generally really good. I mean, the big goal is to improve my time at Taupo. I've sort of gradually knocked an hour and 20 minutes off my time over about 5 years, and I'd like to see if I can knock off another 10 minutes if I can. I've got to invested in a new trek, so I better it better pay me something back. And one of the questions I've got at the moment is whether I'm going to have a crack at doing K2. I go really badly on hills. It's always my downfall, at Taupo is the hills, and I sort of wonder if I did a bit of training towards K2, that would then pay me back when it came to Taupo. The first time I did Taupo, I got to Hautapi Hill. I was cramping really badly and knew I had to keep riding because if I got off I couldn't get started again. But there were people who were pushing their bikes up the hill faster than I was riding. I've done Taupo, I've done Taranaki, I've done Great Bride, and I've done Brunner. So they're sort of like sitting there as ones that I'll almost certainly do. I've sort of got at the edge of that. I've got K2, which I'm thinking of doing. Some of the Christchurch people are trying to talk me into doing the race. Taupo is the one I measure myself against because it's the one that I've done the most. I think I like the Great Bride because it was the first time that I beat my mate with whom I've been having competition for a long time. So that was that felt pretty good. No, I don't have a coach. I've got a couple of people who give me a bit of advice. About a year ago, when I decided to knock some time off Taupo, sort of last year I knocked about 35 minutes off. I had a couple of conversations with Ron Chetley, and he gave me just some pretty basic standard stuff like make sure you do hills twice a week, and make sure you get a long ride in at the weekend, and make sure that at least twice a week you do 20 minutes hard within your rides, and so I sort of did that, and then sort of lined up other people and built the model. So I haven't had a coach. I've thought about it, but with my job, it's often a bit sort of like irregular, and so for me, self-coaching is sort of so far working. I think part of it is either get lined up with some people who are significantly better and who could pass on their tips for a while, which is basically what I've done. But there certainly are some good coaches around, and some good professional coaches.